All right, everybody. So we're having a low volume problem with the Apple AirPods, right? So let's get right into it. Let me let you know you're taking advice from a certifiable professional. So I want to say welcome to all my Earthlings. All right, and if you stay till the end, I have a bonus hidden for you underneath there, and I'll pull that away and show it to you. Now, everything I got here total about 59 bucks. All right, I tried to show this on a short, but it was really hard to do. So I went ahead and just did a full length video, and I told the people who watched the short to come on over and check it out here. So if you're from the short, drop a comment and let me know. I want to see how many people actually viewed this on a short and then came here to see the details. All right, so I have these little helping hands here, usually for soldering wires together. Nice little tool to have, as a mechanic, someone that does this kind of work. 16 bucks on Amazon. 59 bucks seems like a lot, but you could steal some of this stuff from your mom's drawer, and besides that, look, this is going to happen again. So if you have everything here, then you can make yourself a little stand, a little kit to do this. Matter of fact, if you don't want to do it, I have everything here. Let me know, drop it in the comments, and I'll tell you where to send them. You send them in to me, I'll clean them for you and send them back. But you take all the risk. Just know that. All right, because this is risky. But are they worth anything right now that you can hardly hear anyone? I bet you some of you have thrown them in a drawer somewhere and just left them there. Anyway, I got to do this in one take, so let me stay on task here. 59 bucks total with the bonus if you stay till the end. The Lyle 55,000, 16 bucks on Amazon. Some electrical tape. This is the good thick stuff. All right, it's kind of stretchy, 3M, good stuff. All right, about $6 local for that. CVS for the hydrogen peroxide. Unless you're a shoplifter, then everything's free, right? Jerks. All right, then you can also get some alcohol wipes. All right, $3 locally. All right, if you're paying for your stuff at CVS or Walgreens, wherever. Harbor Freight, you can get this big pack of Q-tips, which is what I got there. One looks dirty, it's not. It's just that it's wet because I've already dipped it in there. All right, I got this little cup and I poured some hydrogen peroxide inside. Now let me put this light down. My arm's getting tired. I'm not sponsored or anything. No one told me to make this video. I'm just doing it because I was impressed that it actually worked. All right, so here we go. What I did is I cut a short piece of tape like this. Then I cut it in half. Then I took one of those halves and I wrapped it around the base of the AirPod, as you can see right here, okay? And I did that so that these little clamps, they're like alligator clips, they don't damage the AirPod. Now, some of you might be going, I could hold it, it's no problem. But are you gonna hold it for 20 minutes? No, you're not. So it's worth it if you wanna keep these and keep using them to not only do it this way, like I'm showing, or find a way to make something that you can hold it up. Maybe even a short piece of tubing. You could connect both of them together on a short piece of tubing and rest it somewhere and put something to hold it. So you could just roll it back and forward. You could also do that. It is a good idea. Anyway, the point is you don't want to clean them like this, and you most certainly don't want to clean them like this, okay? Because Apple doesn't recommend you use this stuff. It's 3% hydrogen peroxide. We're not using the heavy duty stuff, all right? And let me tell you, this is an embarrassing problem. Have you ever opened your case and it been so dirty inside? You kind of like, oh man, you don't want anybody to see how dirty that case is inside? Okay, look, everyone has earwax, all right? It happens, all right? I'm going to bear all to you guys right here. I make some serious wax. Like we can make candles out of my ears, I promise you. All right, so there it is. If I can lay it on the table, so can you. All right, so here's the thing. Earwax moves out of your ear as you chew when you eat food. I found that out. Kind of interesting fact, right? Moves it like a little conveyor belt out to the outside. And then as soon as you push these in, it gets clogged up. All right. Now, also, you got heat in there, making that wax a little softer. Okay. Someone else I seen did it where they took a little heat gun, a little blow dryer, and they warmed them up a little bit before they did this, and that seemed to help as well. But I did this with no heat, and it worked just fine, okay? I don't want you to go applying too much heat to them and mess them up. You could try that if you want, but I would keep a distance with like a blow dryer or a little heat gun. I got one of them up here. Let me show them to you real quick. Right there, little cheap heat gun and a little soldering iron, all right? Now let's go back to it. So we get them set up in here, and I'll tilt them back a little bit so I could see what's going on. And then I'll take this Harbor Freight Q-tip, right? And I'll take the back of it because it's just a wooden, like a matchstick almost. You can cut a standard Q-tip if it's got, cotton on both ends, or take the cotton off on one end. And just use that first just to go around on the edges and just collect all the garbage and then just wipe it off in between. You know what I mean? It's going to be the main junk you're going to collect. And don't press too hard, okay? Then what you're going to do is you're going to soak the tip of the Q-tip like that in there. And then you're going to, I've already done these, so I'm not going to touch it. But we're going to go around inside, but we're going to spin that Q-tip like this as we go around. And we're going to press a little bit just to kind of sop this stuff into the screen, all right? So we're going to use one Q-tip on one side. Then we're going to get another Q-tip. You notice we got 4 of them. So we're going to get another Q-tip for the other side. Do the same thing, okay? Swab it in there like that, okay? And that'll use 2 of our Q-tips, okay? Then what we're going to do is we're going to use the other 2, and we're going to do it 2 or 3 more times, okay? But we're going to let it dry for about 5 minutes in between each application of the hydrogen peroxide, all right? And you can use the alcohol wipes to clean up the case a little bit, okay? What I did is I also had one other thing here. I kind of threw the can away already. Sorry about that. But electrical contact cleaner spray. That's kind of expensive. That's like $10. So it'd be more like $69 if you get that stuff. And you can clean the contacts down in there with that and these Q-tips. So it charges them real nice. All right, you'll get your full capacity out of them again as well if the case is dirty. And like I said, I'm a mechanic, so I get it really dirty. So I'll use electrical contact cleaner on another Q-tip and just clean those every once in a while. And then I'll use the alcohol wipes and just kind of wipe everything down, let it air dry real good before I put the case up. And I'll also wipe the outside of these with the alcohol wipes just to make sure it's clean, prevent yourself from getting an air infection. All right, so what we've done is we've used the Lyle 55,000 and a little chunk of steel. Any chunk of steel you find around, just, you know, this thing's magnetized at the bottom. So any chunk of steel that it could stick to and it could be stable. So you can clean it and then put it vertically like this. You want the screens so they're facing perfectly vertical with the ground, okay? So that way you don't have gravity working against you. You got gravity working with you. And after the first time you do it, when you flip it back and you look at it, you'll see it'll be all white. So clear that stuff off of there. That's dissolved earwax coming out of the screen. I was so amazed with how well this worked. All right, guys? So if you try it, remember, don't overdo it. All right? This is for your entertainment purposes only. If you ruin your AirPods, not my fault. If you send them to me and I ruin them, not my fault. All right? It's not always going to work on every single pair. All right? We might be a little heavier on one, a little lighter on the other. So just got to be careful not to cram too much in there. And that's why we do it multiple times. So we get the best cleanliness for the least amount of damage to the AirPods. Now, another thing is, a lot of people have said when they start trying to clean them like this, like people have dunked them in hydrogen peroxide or electrical cleaner. Not a good idea because it damages the microphone. This is part of the reason why we want to flip them up like this as soon as we sop that screen with this peroxide. We just want to get the stuff wet and let gravity pull out what's dissolved, and then we'll clean it again. We'll clean it multiple times. And the reason that the helping hands right here really help out in this case is because I don't have to stand here and hold this thing or worry about someone coming and knocking it over. Like, it's really steady like this. It makes it so easy to maneuver and clean, you know? So, you know, like they say about a paint job, it's in the prep. Anyway, this is almost 10 minutes long. You can see everything we have here is those helping hands, 55,000. That's the part number, Lyle, $16 on Amazon. Electrical tape, Q-tips, 3% hydrogen peroxide, alcohol wipes. Steal some of this from your mom. Don't tell her I told you to do that. And don't throw them in the garbage. Clean them up. All right, now, this is addressing the result of a problem, okay? Now, like I said earlier, the airwax thing, it's an embarrassing problem to have, but we love these AirPods, the way they link up with the phone. There's so much functionality, but this earwax problem really sucks with these screens. It would be nice if the screens were removable, or Apple, if you're listening, if there was a way that we could hook them up to some sort of auxiliary charger and those screens could be made out of metal maybe or something that could heat up, and you can hang them this way and the screen can heat up and just melt the airwax and have it drop right out. That'd be awesome. I mean, I'd like to see something like that, some sort of cleaning function on them in the future. Sound like a good idea, right? Okay, now before we hit the 10-minute mark, let's go ahead and show you guys the bonus. How about we prevent this problem from happening at all, or as frequently, I should say. $27 on Amazon. You get, I don't even know how to pronounce this, Tvidler Pro Earwax Remover. And let me tell you something, this is a great tool. I mean, as a mechanic, I love tools, okay? Let me put it up here so that way you guys can see the name real clearly, all right? This thing, you put these tips on and you spin it around in your ear. It's not like using one of these inside your ear. You use one of these inside your ear, you're essentially pushing the earwax in. With that screw tip pattern, you're actually rotating it and you're pulling the earwax out. You just kind of wiggle it around in there and spin it, and you will be disgusted with how much stuff comes out on there. I usually just rinse it in warm water and then use some tissue to clean it dry or almost dry. And it's perfectly comfortable to use, and it does an excellent, excellent job. I can't recommend that enough. All right, and also these helping hands, especially if you solder or do anything like that, any kind of craft stuff, this is really good. All right. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys on this one. Hope you got enough information to prevent you from throwing them in the garbage and buying another pair from Apple. I hope you guys like, subscribe, and comment